It's usually 'cause I'm hot, or I'm hungry, or I'm tired. But anytime I look into your eyes, well, I'm suddenly twice the size. Oh. Put the guitar up a little bit. I think I'm full of shit. I think I'm full of shit. Dude, don't see a problem with it. It's same with everyone I know. Everyone needs a blanket. And I've been watching it cheat. I've been watching it take showers. I've been watching it rain. I check in every half hour. I love it when you crank it. To watch you twirling your active amid the tubers and the saxes. So won't you leave me where I lay? And we can't go back the way we came. You join me as I leave the frame, because we can't go back there. No, we won't go back there. Yeah, yeah.
Do we have? Did switch? Do we have bars? We're all good. We have audio this time. I don't have to click on the thing. We are so very wrong about games. We play games. We have a podcast. Check it out in the links that come up in the chat. We don't do puppet shows or talk about what we drank. We just play games. And here is Cerebria.
But I drank a puppet.
You drank. I knew.
I wondered where they went.
Yeah.
My puppets are thirsty.
This is by Mind
we knew
Clash
that.
Games, and it is designed by.
Victor Amon, Richard Amon, and Victor Peter.
And it's a little bit like Inside Out. If you've ever seen the Pixar film, we are playing emotions and stuff inside someone's brain.
Let's say mind. Let's not subscribe to the mind-brain identity theory. We don't have to be Cartesian dualists, but, you know, there's a lot of other possibilities. There's functionalism, there's epiphenomenalism. Why you gotta be so reductive, man?
All right, then. All right. Oh, I switched scenes. Do we have bars here, too? We do. All right. Mark's going to explain how the game is played. This is Mind Clash's second game after Carrion. I think that's all I need to say.
Their third game, actually. This came out after Anachrony.
Oh, after Anachrony. Oh.
It is, however, my preferred design of theirs. I think they were down an upward on an upward trajectory until such time as they published Perseverance, which was just kind of okay. All right. First off, allow me to issue a proviso. The terminology is arbitrary but important. And secondly, the game will not be as long as you think it will be. In fact, the rules explanation is apt to take almost as long as the game itself. for this, I apologize. But now that you know how the game is, once you remember how the game is played, you can play all the time, which I'll be happy to do because I love this game. All right.
Because it's great.
It's great. The goal of the game is to score points. You score points in two ways. One of them is by winning what are effectively area majority contests, which are called aspirations. There are public aspirations over here and private aspirations over here. But they all consist of the same list of things. This deck is exactly the same as this deck, which is exactly the same as that deck. And then there are intentions, which are little bonus thingies that you get points for doing just cuz, and they are listed on our boards here. It's the same list. Now, it is possible to get a surprising amount of points from intentions, but for that you'd have to plan a little bit more. Anyway, more on all this later. At the start of the game, we're only going to have a couple of brightnesses and a couple of bleaknesses on the board. And that's going to be part of initial setup. And they're going to have one essence on them. And so let's say that mine is over here, and it's got one essence on it. What this means is this is contributing 1 point of influence for the side of Bliss, which is to say Jimbo and myself. And that will help influence 2, sometimes more areas. So there's this frontier, which consists of these 3 slots, and this is a frontier between 2 realms. All right? Mm-hmm. So if a card is there, it's not there anymore. Thanks, Walker. If a card is over here, it definitely contributes towards this frontier, and it will also contribute towards this realm. And so it gives 1 point towards both of those. Now, in the case that a card is over here, it'll contribute towards both realms and the frontier. But if there is an opposing card in the way, it then becomes blocked and will not contribute strength towards that particular area. So it can be blocked over here and free over here, blocked on both sides, free on both sides. It really depends. And this is the core element of the game, exerting influence over the various frontiers and realms. Most of the scoring conditions relate to that. There are exceptions, of course, but most of the action is centered around that. Now, after we do initial setup, which we'll see us, again, putting out a couple of these, and we'll show up on an area of the map, and we'll have some cards from our own unique decks into our hands. These cards represent emotions as well, but they are just flatly better than bleakness or bleakness or brightness. These are just weak baby emotions because at the start of the game, the individual that we're inside is just an infant. They don't really have much of a sense of a developed personality yet. I'm not committing to any particular view of personhood. I'll do that later when I want to alienate 100% of my audience.
Sweet.
Yes. Anyway, we then proceed with player turns. We just keep taking player turns until the game ends. We started with Jimbo. We alternate play across teams, so teams don't get to take 2 turns in a row. On your turn, you get to take 3 actions and possibly an absorb action. This is tracked by your little action tracker, so it can be it can show the little vial face up when you have an absorb action available. Once you've taken your absorb action, you can just flip it face down. In addition, you get to take 3 actions. The actions you can take can be all the same or different. It's entirely up to you. So let's start with a thing that's common to all actions. Immediately before taking an action, you may upgrade that action. Upgrade is a specific kind of thing. It is not an action unto itself. You cannot upgrade an action and do a different action. You can only upgrade an action just as you're about to do it. To do so, you discard a card from your hand, you take a vibe token matching that color from the supply, and you put it on the action you're about to do, giving it one of 4 available upgrades. The upgrades can be taken in any order that you wish, but there are a number of restrictions. Number 1, you cannot have the same color represented twice on an upgrade track. So if you have blue and red already on the upgrade track, you need to discard a yellow or a green in order to upgrade it further. Another restriction is you can't take the same upgrade more than once. And the action itself has to be available. At the start of the game, we will do a certain amount of upgrading, but it is the case that at the beginning of the game, you won't have all the actions available to you, because we only start with 4 vibe tokens, which are effectively like wild upgrade tokens. We have 5 available actions. A common thing to do is to just unlock 4 actions, but you can make 1 action better and have 2 actions of it unavailable, because again, just before you take an action, you can upgrade it, and the first upgrade has to be unlocking the thing. So if you have the cards available, you can just do whatever you like. Anyway, then there are the actions themselves. Move allows you to spend willpower. Willpower is the key currency of the game. We're going to start with 4, to move to an adjacent space. By default, you cannot end on a space where there are enemies, but one of the upgrades available allows you to do that. Another kind of upgrade available, and these upgrades are available to some but not all of us because we have asymmetric player boards, is to be able to move 2 spaces at the cost of an additional willpower. So the way to, just to give you an example of how to parse the iconography here, let's take a look at this board of Harmony. So what this means is spend a willpower, move your person. This upgrade means you get to move twice, but at the cost of an additional willpower. When I move, I'm not obliged to use any upgrades that I don't want to use. So I can move 1 space for 1 or up to 2 spaces for 2. This is what allows me to end in a space where there is an opponent. I can end where Jimbo is, that's fine. Where Harmony is even. But to end where an opponent is, I need to have that upgrade available. It does not cost any additional. And it also stacks with another one. I can move 2 and end in a space with an opponent if I have all of those upgrades. The final upgrade in most columns is a discount. So potentially allowing me to move for free. Questions about movement? This is especially important because, generally speaking, you can only do things that you are next to. If I want to play a card, if I want to modify a card, if I want to do various things, I'd have to be standing next to it. If I'm standing here, I'm next to these 2 cards. If I'm standing here, I'm next to this card. Invoke. Invoke is the term for playing a card. So from your hand, you would play a card onto an available slot. It has to be empty, and so it can't have a card there. And you need to have the essence available on your board. At the start of the game, you're going to have 2 essence. One of those essences actually, you're going to get another one onto bleakness or brightness. More on that later. It automatically goes on the leftmost space, and there you go. You've got an emotion now. Every emotion has a special power that is indicated on both the player aids and in the big book of or grimoire of, case depending. Look it up on your own damn self. Ask me, and I'll get mad. By default, it tends to cost 2 energy. Available upgrades are taking the essence from the supply instead of having to have it on your board already. So you just get the essence available for free. And drawing cards after playing, sometimes adding additional essence on top of what's available. We'll go over the specific asymmetries later, but generally speaking, that's what the upgrades available to your invoke action allow you to do. Questions on invoke? Now, whenever you put influence anywhere, we update control of both the realms and the frontiers. Right? So in this case, in this state of play, well, this realm is controlled by Bliss because we've got 1 and Gloom's got 0. Similarly, this frontier is controlled by Bliss. What this icon means will come clear later. But we're supposed to update these dynamically. It's very important to do so whenever you try to whenever these results get modified. Quell is the action whereby you get rid of opponent's cards. By and large, again, you have to be next to the card you're interacting with. So Walker, for example, could march his beaky self over here and do a quell action on an emotion that we've played. Generally speaking, it costs 2 willpower and an ambition. Ambition is a special currency that I'll get to later, but it's very expensive. And what that allows you to do is show a card from your hand that matches the suit you're trying to quell. Not discard, but show. So in this card, you'd have to that symbol. You'd have to show a red card. The symbol itself will be different, but the color is the same. And then what happens is 1 essence, the rightmost essence of the card, gets discarded. If it's the last one, the entire card goes away. I will mention and repeat later, quelling an essence is one of the ways you can get points through intentions. So by default, at minimum, in addition to being able to do all this, that action will get you a point.
And then it turns the big wheel?
No.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Oh, sorry, that's the thing that's hard to get.
That's ambition, yeah.
Ambition. Oh.
Yeah, the big wheel is something else. Various upgrades to quell preclude the need to have a card to show, making things cheaper, quelling more, broadly speaking. Anyway, more on that later. Then there's Fortify. Fortify allows you to put out fortifications. Now, there are these weird plastic pieces that are pentagons. And in point of fact, I should get us each our little towers. Here's the Tower of Gloom.
Yes. The Obelisk of Doom.
I said Gloom, not Doom, Walker.
Oh, sorry.
Now, fortifications can go into these spaces, and when you put out a first fortification in an area, it's a little, you put out a teeny one. You'll notice that there are big pieces and teeny pieces. You put out a teeny one, and you then put a marker with a +1 on it, and it is now contributing 1 point of influence to that realm. Not to the frontiers, it's not on the frontiers, but to that realm. And the way you do that is with Fortify. Various fortification abilities, and the place has to be empty, obviously. There are various fortification abilities that allow you to get rid of opponents' fortifications. It's weird. The way you get rid of an opponent's fortification is on a further upgrade, the second one. The iconography is a little bit confusing because most of the time upgrades are optional. This is a special version of the Fortify action that costs the total of the Fortify action to begin with plus the cost of the upgrade of the Fortify, and it removes 1 level of opponent fortification. You do, however, get 1 action back when you do that, so it doesn't cost an action if you have an action available. That's what the little plus lightning bolt symbol means, you get the action back. If you fortify an already existing fortified place, then it gets replaced with a fat piece, and then instead of providing +1, it provides +2. If, in order to fortify, though, you need to already control that realm. You cannot fortify a realm you do not control. Let me make sure that that is correct.
Oh, Deborah and Big Beer City Board Games says this has been on his want-to-play list for a long time.
Sorry,
It's totally worth it, in my opinion.
sorry, I exaggerated. The realm cannot be controlled by an opponent. So it either has to be neutral or controlled by you in order to fortify. And you can fortify from any of the 3 spaces next to the fortification area.
Oh, so you have to have your symbol here in order to put a fortify out. Is that
No.
what you just said? No, sorry, okay.
It's either neutral or you control it.
Oh, okay.
Fortification is not super important in and of itself, but it keys off of a lot of other things. It's cumbersome and awkward, but it is worth it sometimes. Finally, there's Empower, which some fools would call Upgrade. It's not Upgrade, it's Empower. Keep it straight, please. In order to empower an emotion, you need to be, again, standing next to it, and in each emotion, each basic emotion, will tell you the threshold at which it needs to be empowered. In order to empower, this emotion needs 2 essences on it at least, because that's where this symbol is. Right? You follow me?
Yep.
Okay.
Then what you do is you do the empower action, and you replace it with its better version from the empowered action stack. Generally speaking, the numbers get better. Not always, though, but somewhere between the numbers and the power, it gets, well, intensified. And what you do is you take all the essence that was on this card, you put it on a new card, and it just goes in the same space.
And they tell you what they were on the side and
Yeah.
what they're going to on the side.
Exactly. And the previous emotion gets discarded. Various upgrades to empower entail flexibility about where you need to be standing, getting additional essence from the supply before you empower. Yeah, stuff like that. So, in addition to that, in addition to the 5 actions we have available to us, there are the 5 actions that are available through the realms. So each realm has an associated action. If you control the realm, you can do the action. It doesn't matter where you are. And it may sound daunting that there are 5 more, but they're relatively straightforward. And here the actual the iconography is pretty efficient. Network of Thoughts allows you to move an emotion that is on your side next to where you are for an action.
And that costs 2
Two
willpower?
2 willpower, precisely. Here, for 1 willpower, you can add an essence from your board to an emotion you're standing next to. And you can throw more willpower to put out more essences onto that same card. The Willow of Values, you spend 1 essence and then you can convert any number, 1 willpower, and then you can convert any number of willpower to essence. That is the chief way you get essence. A chief way. The Valley of Motives, you spend 1 willpower and get 4. So it's a cheap way to get willpower. Action inefficient, but easy way to get willpower. And the Cradle of Senses allows you to draw cards. 1 card for 1 willpower, 2 willpower for each additional card. The key way to get willpower, though, aside from the Valley of Motives, so those are the 10 available actions. And again, in order to do the realm actions, you don't need to be standing in the realm, you need to control, your side needs to control the realm in question. If it's neutral, nobody can do it. Over the course of your turn, you may, if you wish, it's highly encouraged, do an absorb action. When you do an absorb action, what you do is you absorb willpower from an appropriate pool in the center. If you are standing over here, there's no pool where you can draw from, so you'll have to, be closer. You get a default of 2 willpower from the. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. If you're standing here, you can take from either. My apologies. That was wrong. So from here, you can draw from either of the 2 pools that are next to you.
Like you choose one, or
you choose one.
Or okay.
By default, you get 2 willpower from whichever pool you pick. If it is the case that your side controls adjacent frontiers, you can draw more willpower. In this particular example, because Gloom controls this frontier, Walker would be able to draw a 3rd from the same pool when he draws. Additionally, each pool gives you a special bonus. This gives you an additional essence. This gives you 2 more willpower from the supply. This gives you a vibe of your choice wherever you damn well please. This allows you to restore an ambition for 1 willpower, and this allows you to draw a card. Once you've done that, you just flip that over. You just get to do 1 absorb action per turn. At the end of your turn, and you can actually follow along on your board, what you do is you go along the bottom part of your board. You either refresh 1 ambition. Ambition is held collectively across both of your teammates, or you draw 2 cards from your own personal deck. Then, if you have no willpower, you gain a willpower. So if you end your turn with nothing, you'll never start your turn with no willpower. This continues until such time as one of the pools empties. If a pool empties, you don't get any more willpower from that pool, even if you were entitled to it. And we pause for a revelation. This is how a revelation works. And actually, steps of revelation are summarized on your player aid, if you're so inclined. The first thing you do is you check to see how well you do. Keegan's got your player aid.
No, it's okay.
You check to see how well you score on the aspirations. So there's a public aspiration, and these are listed in order. They were put in a random order, but the first one is going to be liveliness. And you've also got a private aspiration, which is the top card of your own deck. And remember, this deck is duplicative with this deck. You're not allowed to have your private aspiration be the same as the public aspiration. So you guys need to shuffle that deck and then look at the top card. If the top card is liveliness, shuffle again until it's not. If you have succeeded in neither of these aspirations, you get nothing, good day. If you succeed in both, you get a fat piece in the center.
Ooh.
If you succeed in one, you get a skinny piece in the center. Skinny pieces are worth 3 points at the end of the game, fat pieces 5 at the end of the game. If you have no pieces of that appropriate size left in your supply because they've all been scored and or used for fortifications, you put an end cap and the game will end at the end of this revelation. End caps are worth 4. They're also exceptionally pointy. So here's what the aspirations are. Liveliness, you need to have more essence on the board. Remember, essence is a thing we put on emotion cards, so you just need to have more than the opposing team. If there's a tie, obviously nobody gets it. Fortitude, have more total intensity from fortresses. If one side has 2 fat fortresses and the other side has 3 skinny fortresses, the 2 fat fortresses take it, because that's
4 intensity.
4 intensive 3, exactly. Unity is have more adjacent emotions. It's like longest road. So just have the biggest chain. Adjacency continues across these little corners. Sensibility is have the most intense emotion. Intensity is the value on this number plus any bonuses it might get from special abilities or other weird things. Awareness is have emotions in more triads. This is a triad, this is a triad, this is a triad. So maximum is 5. Versatility is have more different vibes on emotions. Again, vibe is suit, so this is a red vibe emotion, so maximum 4 in this case. Openness, control more frontiers, very straightforward. Reflection's a bit tricky. Control more opposite realm frontier dyads. So if you control the network of thoughts and this frontier, that's a dyad, right? So just opposite things on the board.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, attitude, control more realms. So, as I say, you check your private one, and again, the private ones are just these in a different order. You score, these are called fragments, as needed. We then flip this one over. We proceed to the next one. If your opponent scored a fat piece, you were obliged to burn one of these as a team. It hastens the end of the game, and it means we will not score that thing.
Gotcha.
So you get some control over what will be scored, but it also hastens the game. Furthermore, if you didn't score at all, and this can be compatible with your opponent placing a fat piece, but not necessarily, instead of just shuffling and then whatever's on top will be your next private aspiration, you get to pick from the next 3. But again, can never be redundant with what's face up. Then what we do is we refill the empty pool with 7 new pieces of willpower. And if it is the case that a fortress had been built on... Oh, wait, no, it's supposed to be like this. Sorry. That's the orientation. This is important. Thank you, Jimbo. If it is the case that you score a realm and there's a fortress that's there that had been built in a previous round, in a previous turn of the game, this will also get added to the center as scoring. This is one of the reasons why fortresses can be useful. So, if Jimbo builds this fortress and then Jimbo causes us to score by emptying this out, it will not get added. But if I build it and then Walker triggers the revelation by emptying this out, it will get added.
And does it work the same way for your opponent's team? I.e., if this were a piece that Keegan had built and I triggered this scoring, this would still get added to...
Yeah. It doesn't matter who built it and who triggered it. It only matters whether it had been built in a previous turn.
And then we will get you points if it's in the middle.
Correct.
And so now getting these, it's here you must choose from the one directly in front of
Yes.
you, and
Here,
here
either one.
you choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in either case, whether you trigger a revelation or not, after you do an absorb action, it rotates 1 space clockwise.
Cool.
Right. So now, let's talk about ambition, then we'll talk about intentions, and then we'll talk about all the asymmetric nonsense. All right?
Okay.
Ambition is, you can get it in a couple ways. You can buy it here. Mostly, though, you can get an ambition at the end of your turn if you don't draw cards.
And we have 3 to start, right?
No, you have 0 to start.
Okay.
Walker, you do not have that much ambition. Trust me, I know. And actually, that's a compliment.
Doesn't sound like a
Yeah.
compliment.
So
Caesar had to die because he was ambitious.
That's-
If you
that's
get
the
ambitious,
solid
I will
point.
knife you in the back.
There's a fabulous pencil holder that's a bust of Julius Caesar
I know.
with all the pencils stuck in his back.
It's great. It's great. I want one so bad. So, these are the things you do with ambition. And again, it's a shared resource across partners. You can spend an ambition to immediately get any kind of upgrade you want. Wherever. Doesn't even have to be an action you're about to do. Just whatevs. And you can do each ambition action maximally once per turn. You cannot do the same ambition action multiple times per turn. You can spend an ambition to rotate the center 1 space. You can use 2 ambition to take an extra action. Then there are intentions. Intentions we score immediately. The score track is up here. Whenever you land on a space or go past it, you get the bending indicated. So ambition, card, essence.
And if you go past 20, do you just keep going?
You do, but if somebody cracks 20, it triggers the end of the game. The game will end at the end of that turn. No equal turns. Game ends when it ends. So the first intention you score again a turn gives you 1 point. Every subsequent one gives you 2 more. If you spend 3 actions and all of them trigger an intention, that's 5 points. That's huge, but it requires a certain degree of planning. You get an intention you score an intention every time you remove an essence from an opposing emotion card. Usually by quell.
Usually with a quell action.
Yes. You get you score an intention anytime you absorb and get 4 willpower from the pool. So, diligence won't help you. If there are 3 in the pool and you're entitled to 4, you don't score. You get score an intention every time you maximally intensify an emotion. I almost said upgrade.
I.e. fill it with essence.
Most require 3, some require 4, some require 2. This does not apply to bleakness and brightness. They're just too baby.
gotcha.
Doesn't matter. Finally, you score an intention when you maximally upgrade an action. I mean, it lists all 4 colors because generally you're going to get all 4 colors. That's the game, gentlemen. So let's talk a little bit about asymmetry. Who wants to be first in introduction times? Jimbo will be representing empathy. Empathy is an adorable trash bag.
It's true.
And his his asymmetric power, which is different from his asymmetric board, is cards that are on slots next to where he's standing cannot be quelled.
Oh, wow.
He provides them an aura of invincibility. He has his surmountability costs 0 willpower. Normally it costs energy to get to the same place as someone else, but he's just so empathic he can just snuggle up to the worst of impulses and it'll be fine.
Hi, buddy.
This means if you... Wait, what am I looking at? Right. There's... Alright, you're on the B side. Where's Embrace?
Is that Embrace?
Doesn't look like it. Hold on.
Hold, please.
It really doesn't look like... Am I looking the right... No, sorry, I was looking in the right place. I was looking in the wrong place. That, my friend, is Switcheroo. Instead of moving, swap places with any other spirit.
That sounds right.
Yep.
I also have switcheroo.
Well, congratulations.
Switcheroo buddies.
Your Invoke, you have Sharing is Caring.
2 more to add another essence.
Yeah. It also comes from your board, though.
Right.
You also have Motivation. After you invoke, you get
4/3
an
more
addition.
willpower.
Yeah. Quell, if you remove, you have a conversion power. If you remove the last essence from a Gloom Emotion, you gain an essence. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong place. Here we go.
Okay, right.
Your Fortify has the additional benefit that feeling safe. After you fortify, you gain 1 essence. So you can't raise, you're not able to tear down opposing fortifications.
Right.
And you
Sorry,
have...
what do these 2 do?
This is when you quell more, and this is when you quell, you don't need to show a card.
Gotcha.
And everyone has those by default. Moving on to Hatred, which is Keegan. Keegan will also be playing his Hatred today independently. Mm-hmm. Anytime you use an upgraded action, it costs 1 less willpower.
Sweet.
Now that does not apply if your only upgrade is the upgrade that makes the action cheaper. So you have to be using an actual upgrade instead of a cheaper upgrade. Does that make sense to you? Do I need to?
Not quite.
Okay, so if you are using an upgraded action, and the upgrade in question is not the upgrade that just makes things cheaper, you get a discount of 1.
So
yeah,
these ones.
So if you invoke,
Yeah.
but your only upgrade is this, it is not additionally 1 cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Hatred. You charge instead of haste. You can move up to 2 extra spaces. You also have Wildfire for move. If you end your move adjacent to a Bliss Emotion, you can remove 1 essence from it. This is not considered a quell. So,
But it costs ambition and willpower.
yeah, but it still costs admission and willpower. Your Invoke. You concede. After you invoke, you draw a card.
Ooh.
Your Quell is when you quell a realm with a Gloom Fortress, gain 2 willpower. With me?
Yep.
Fortify. After you fortify, you draw a card. Raise has different costs. Your raise doesn't cost willpower. Ambition. It just costs more willpower, which is interesting.
A lot
Spicy.
of it though.
Yeah, a lot of it. And empower. After empower, draw a card. So you're basically a huge cheapskate.
Sweet.
Walker is wallowing in misery, and will also be playing misery.
Misery.
Instead of having to absorb from the place you're at, you can absorb from a sphere adjacent to it.
Neat.
But
So that's your power,
on
right?
your-
The left side of
Oh,
your board.
here. Gotcha.
But if that triggers a revelation, no fortress will be scored thereby, regardless of what's going on.
Okay.
Additionally, your board is when you move, your surmountability is free. Normally, people people have to pay for it, but apparently you're so miserable you're willing to snuggle up to us. You also have Deceive. Instead of moving, switch places with any other spirit. Yeah, it's the same as Switcheroo, just more violent. Your Quell. After a Quell, take 1 willpower from an adjacent origin sphere with 2 or more willpower. That's what they're called, origin spheres. Without triggering the sphere bonus. So when you quell, you get to drain energy from the...
Neat.
What?
Oh, what's the symbology for that? Quell, drain. Oh, okay. Get one from cannot empty.
Yep.
Okay, so the final one. Gotcha.
Fortify, some of your fortifications have different costs. You also have drain. Drain works the same way as quell.
Yeah, you get.
You also have another drain available for empower, for what it's worth.
Yes.
For empower, you can assimilate, which is awfully Borg-like. After you empower, you can use a vibe token matching the discarded mild emotions vibe to unlock or upgrade one of your spirit actions. So, in other words, when you empower a red emotion, you can immediately take a red upgrade action somewhere.
Gotcha.
Likewise, a blue emotion, green emotion, etc.
Yes.
All right.
It's essentially getting a free upgrade with your empower action.
Yes. But the color has to match the color of the
card that you just
emotion
empowered.
you just empowered.
Gotcha.
I am Harmony. When I upgrade, I can upgrade twice. If I pay 2 cards to upgrade, and the tokens can be any color I want. But I have to pay the 2 cards to do it. And as far as my board is concerned, I can move 2 extra spaces, not 1. I can draw cards after an invoke. Quell. I can quell real good. I can quell twice, but it costs 2 emotion. And I've also got emotional cycle. If I remove the last essence from an emotion with a quell action, I get to draw a card. So if I have these two slots open, and I pay 2 willpower and 2 ambition, I basically get to quell twice. Where was I? Oh, I'm sorry. I get to remove up to 2 additional, so I can quell 3 times. Nice. Oof. That's a lot of burning, but a lot of ambition. Normal fortify. I can attune with origin if I can use this upgrade only if my team already has a minor fragment on the fortress location. Move that fragment, score it immediately. So I can prematurely score fortifications, which is interesting. Cost me an ambition, though. And then finally, in my Empower, I get a Rush to Aid. Before empowering an emotion, I can pay this cost to pick up your spirit figure and place it on the spirit space adjacent to that emotion, even if the space is occupied by an opposing spirit. So I can teleport to a place before empowering something.
Cool.
Now, at the very start of the game, I think we first get to see what our starting hand is.
Oh, we're gonna play.
I think I just heard, thanks, Mark, for explaining the
Thanks,
game.
Mark.
That was really well done, presented in a nice little order, and I went through the bother of providing everyone their special powers.
It's not as entertaining for the listeners, though.
Wow.
How many cards do I take?
Seriously, Walker, have I ever knifed you publicly? Have I ever undermined you publicly? All the things you've done to embarrass me over the course of our collaboration, have you ever undermined me like that? Have I ever undermined you like that in public?
Oh, at least once.
Think about that for a while.
Yeah. How many cards do I take from the deck and put in my hand, or if you will, upgrade from the deck state to my hand state?
You know what, Keegan? That was pretty good. Just on the team, all spirit boards, emotions, emotion deck. We start with 2 cards from our decks after they've been shuffled. Oh, and actually, there isn't really a discard pile. We just put emotions on the bottom of our decks, so we'll never reshuffle them. We don't tend to go through the deck. As I said, the game will be shorter than you expect it to be. And we get to pick where our 4 starting vibes go. Now, they don't have to unlock 4 different actions. As I say, you can even start with a maximally upgraded action if you want. I do not recommend that at all.
Fortify, 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 fortify.
Yeah, maximally upgraded fortify. Interesting call. I suggest you unlock move.
Yeah, I was going to say, also, it feels like not unlocking move might be a mistake.
It would be an interesting call. It'd be a bold opening. Invoke also what we might want to call a pretty crucial action. I'm so good at quelling and fortifying. Yeah. the sort of common recommended setup is to leave Empower blank. I'm not saying that's the good option. I'm not saying it's what you should do. I'm just saying it's it's the recommended baby setup in the rulebook. Okay, and setup actually proceeds in normal turn order. And so what's going to happen is each player starts, so I set up first, then Walker, then Jimbo, then Keegan. You set up on a frontier space, which is to say
One of these.
one of these spaces. And then you put your starting card with an essence from the supply, not from your board, on one of the spaces that is adjacent to the space where you're standing. Normally, over the course of the game, you wouldn't be allowed to influence that space, but this is just setup nonsense, right? I would not be allowed to invoke here. I wouldn't be allowed to quell here normally because I'd only be able to do that here. And as a consequence, at present, we control the Valley of Motives, and we control this frontier. But that will, of course, change very shortly. Where would you like to start?
You do not control the Valley of Motives,
It would appear not.
but you guys control this frontier.
What do we use to mark that?
These. And now it's me. It's a me, Jimbario. Well, I mean,
What will make you happy, Jimbo?
choose not to answer that question on grounds that it may incriminate me.
Okay.
I am going to go here. I'm going to put some brightness in the land of desires.
What do we want?
Nope.
Oh, yes, in one of these sections.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go here. We'll have access to
The
Willow of Values.
Welcome to the Willow of Values.
All right.
The Willow of Value seems like a discount kind of tree shop.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Circus of Values from BioShock.
Alrighty. Let's see what's what then. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. First action, I'm going to invoke. I'm going to invoke Innocence over. I'm actually going to do it over here. Innocence says if you're invoking into an area you control, it doesn't have to be where you're next to. Since we control there, I can break the rules of adjacency. That gets us to the Cradle of Senses. That was my first action. My second action is, which isn't really an action, I am going to absorb from the pool of commitment. I start with 2. I get a third because we happen to control this frontier. I can then spend a willpower to get an ambition, which I do. And then this rotates. My second action is going to go to the Cradle of Senses, actually. And
Your
I'm
third action?
No, the absorbing doesn't take a designated
Oh, no,
action.
okay.
See your token, your little token has an absorb on one side of it.
Oh, we're supposed to start with one?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
so you
thought-
just
okay.
flip it, when you absorb, you flip it face down.
All right.
And for my last action, I am going to.
Sorry, what did you do for your second action?
Cradle of Senses.
I activated the Cradle of
okay.
Senses and I drew a
Spend a
card.
willpower, draw a card.
For my last action,
Remember, you can do these even when you're not near them.
Yes.
As long as you have control of them.
yeah. We're gonna hold on. Yeah, actually, I'll put it here instead. That way we control the value of motives at least.
Walker, you should look at our goal for the round.
Oh yeah, I should remind myself of. Yep. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move, and in the process of moving, I'm going to discard 2 cards, thereby upgrading twice. Doesn't matter what colors they are by virtue of my special power. I'll take a green and a yellow, and I'm going to take the move real far and move for cheap ability, and I'm going to move real far for a net cost of 1 willpower because it's been discounted. And yeah, that looks good. And then I'll call it a day. I then get to activate an ambition or draw 2 cards. I'm going to draw 2 cards because I already gave us 1 ambition. And I already have willpower, so I don't get 1 more. That was 3 actions. Walker, you're up.
Mine won't be as fast.
That's fine.
Totally cool.
I need to upgrade move if I want to move.
You actually start with all of those.
You start with all 4 of those on your board.
Oh, I don't get to decide as I take them.
No, you have to. We all started with all 4 of them on our boards.
Gotcha. Oh, I could upgrade movement now.
Yes, but that would cost a card.
No, if he's with his starting things.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. First action will be to move.
So 1 space for 1, or 2 spaces for 2.
2 spaces for 2. Sure. I'll have our own pool here. Actually, I only need to move 1.
Then just pay
So you
1.
get a willpower back.
But I can put a card
No.
there. No, because
Yeah,
we don't
here.
control it, right? If we
No, that control is independent. That was only the special power of innocence.
of that particular card.
Yes. Normally, in order to influence these 2 slots, you have to be standing here.
Yeah. You have to be adjacent.
Then the second action will be to invoke.
You should have 2 essence at the start of the game.
I do. Oh, the other one was here. It has
You might have put it on your. Oh,
Oh yeah, put it on my Gloom card.
you didn't even do that.
That was Keegan.
Okay.
Second action to play one of these cards.
Okay, that's an invoke. It'll cost you some amount of willpower. In your case, 2.
Invoke. So this gets punted out for those watching. That is because there is a card blocking Innocence's control of this area. So now there is only a blue card controlling the Cradle of Senses.
Third action will be to. Ooh. Actually, we're doing
Absorb.
absorb.
From commitment,
So I get
he gets two
two
willpower from
automatically
commitment, and you can spend a willpower to
flip
get
over
an ambition.
Well, I suppose we should do that.
I feel like we'll need ambition.
All right, so I spend one for that, and my third action I spend the other one that I have, because I'm going to get one for free if I have none,
Correct.
to get one of those.
From the Willow of Values?
Correct.
No, you spend one, and then you can convert willpower to one-to-one basis. So you need 2 in order to get the first.
All right.
Close.
So then I have another action left,
Well, for 1, you could draw a card.
and I have 1 willpower in order to do it with.
Yeah, you can spend that one willpower to draw a card.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or get a thingamajig.
No,
No.
that's what I just tried
Oh,
to do. 'Cause
right.
You have to
It costs
one
1
to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what my
Thanks for
plan
keeping
was.
track, Keegan.
Yeah.
Way to pay attention to your teammate's turn.
All right, Jimbo, it's all you.
And then, at
Scheming.
the end of your turn, you may either charge an ambition or draw 2 cards. And then, as you noticed, if you
Yes,
have no
if I
willpower,
can-
you get 1
I
willpower.
get 1. And then I can draw or.
Draw 2 cards or charge
No,
an
let's
ambition.
charge ambition.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So Jimbo, my man,
Yes.
if
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Get a good card.
Jimbo.
If you could put out a card here and then absorb from commitment, I think we'd be in a good place.
that's kind of the plan.
Sorry for not setting you up better.
It's all good. All right. So, action 1 will be to spend a willpower to move.
Where would you like to go, my friend?
I would like to go here.
How nice.
Then, action 2, I'm going to invoke, which I do for cheaper,
Woo!
kindness into here.
What a great guy. He evokes kindness,
One from here. We tie now the creative senses.
and we control the network of thought.
Yes. Then I'm going to absorb from commitment. I get 2, I would get 3, but there's no more, and in fact I would get 4, but there's no more.
Sorry. Do you want to charge another ambition?
Yes, I will spend a willpower to charge an ambition.
We pause to trigger a revelation.
It's revelatory.
So we check the common, the common aspiration, having more essence on the board. Team good guys has 1, 2, 3, 4. Team bad guys has 3. So we win this one. Our private one is have emotions and more triads, where we're tied, unfortunately. But such is the way of things. So
Yeah.
we don't score this
We
one.
do not score that one.
So we're entitled to a small thing. What is your private?
Control more frontiers, which we do not.
It is tied.
It is tied. So as a consequence, we score a Litlin from our supply. And now we don't burn an additional one of these because nobody
didn't
scored
score
a
a big
big fat one. You guys didn't score this time though, so while we just have to go to our next one that isn't this, you get to pick from your next 3,
Ah, I see.
which you may do in collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. You draw 3.
Go ahead, Keegan. Pick it up. You probably have
Well,
more idea of what's going to happen.
And then, just so you know, we refill commitment to
Do
7
I-
and we rotate once. And then Jimbo's turn will continue.
do I really? All right, take a look. What do you think?
Way to make with the good feelings.
It's all good kindness, man.
It's all about kindness. Throw in some peace, some love in there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A little bit of serenity, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds great. I could roll with that.
I'd say from the top 2.
The top.
Like the top, as in what would be on the top.
Like this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
See, they can't even get along. So destructive.
This is the one that I was thinking because we've got like a nice
Yeah.
gap.
You don't know what
um,
nice is.
It's true. Right.
Oh, BKB. I'm going to, then for my third and final action, I'm going to use the Land of Desires.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend a willpower. This comes from my board, yes?
Yes.
To put another essence on kindness.
Okay.
And then my turn is done. So I can do an up. Now is when I do upgrades?
You do an upgrade just before doing an action.
Right.
So if you wanted to upgrade Invoke,
Yeah. So then in that case, there will be no actions, unfortunately. Because my third action was a thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would have, I could have upgraded move before I
Move
did it.
or invoke before you
I
did
did
it.
it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now you draw 2 cards or charge.
I will draw 2 cards because we have
Yep.
2 ambition charge.
And you have
willpower.
so there's that.
Keegan, you are up.
Okay, I will move. That's my first action. I can only move 1 currently. Gonna move to which spot? Here. Yeah. So from here, if I absorb, I can do either of these 2 spots, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But not both.
Yeah, got it. So as a move, going to. Do I want to do? Yes. 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 Go to discard a card, and I think it works like this. Discard a card for an upgrade. If I could have a red upgrade.
You may indeed.
What action lets you do that?
So upgrading is not an action.
Okay.
You upgrade immediately prior to doing the action.
Gotcha.
Immediately prior to doing an action, you may discard a card to put a vibe of the matching color anywhere on that action. You're not obliged to use that upgraded feature of the action when you take the action, but it has to be the action you're about to do.
Right. So doing my draw a card after I invoke. Then I can spend 3. So 1, 2, 3, right, for the invoke. If I'm understanding that correct. 2
Yep,
for my
1, 2
basic
for the
invoke,
base, and then 1 for the upgrade.
upgrade
Yep.
that I've just acquired. So that's my second action. That's going to be drop pessimism here. So he comes in with 1 from...
So we are now tied for the Valley of Motives.
Yes.
And my pessimism's effect is when I play it, after I put the thing on, we check to see how many each player has. You guys have 5, I think, and we only have 4. So he comes in with a +1 intensity token.
No, we have 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Sorry, I added an extra one.
How dare you?
Frank has appeared because I extorted him.
So
You will get the Kool-Aid then, Frank.
No, you exhorted him. Exhortation is different from extortion.
So the +1 intensity, does that mean that we now have control of that?
I suppose if you must.
The Valley of Motives is now under your control.
I would like to absorb.
So, oh no, because this is
Oh,
it's
and I
still
draw a
contributing 1 strength because that's okay.
Yeah, they're not cumulative.
Cool.
Actually, what's the one that I just drew?
Although one wonders if benevolence is particularly badass.
Benevolence is pretty badass.
Ooh, yeah, we should get on that. Unfortunately, I don't empower. Neither do you. Look at that.
But I can.
I'll absorb from here.
Humility?
Yeah.
Fancy
That's-
that.
2.
So you get 3 actually because you control that frontier,
Ah, yes. Cool.
and you get an essence.
Thank you.
Essence.
And what shall I do with my last one?
It was Kaibo's Corpse Spinner.
That's right.
That's what I don't know
Corpse
why it came to
Spinner.
me now.
What?
So
I'm gonna need some context.
we used to play a game called Age of Wonders, and
I think
we always came up with ridiculous names for our characters, and we were talking about it like weeks ago, and I could not remember what the cool name was that Walker kept using for his guy. For whatever reason, as soon as he
Necromancer.
hissed
Draw some
essence
cards.
in his necromancer voice, my brain was like, it was Kaibo's Corpse Spinner. I don't know why. That's just how it happened.
Hold on.
It'll all be Frank. It'll all be
Hold on,
good,
what?
Frank.
I said all done.
Just lie down for
All
a
done?
rest. All will be well
That's
soon.
the wrong one out here. I can't have 2 blanks. Blanks only for the beginning. After that, no blanks.
I should actually have. I forgot about my discount.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
good
have to
point.
pay- Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
This isn't going to be amazing, but I think, Jimbo, it's going to be pretty good. Are you okay with that?
I mean, yeah, I'm
You're okay with pretty good?
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. Chase your bliss.
I'm gonna... There's supportive, and then there's unhelpful roleplay. I'm going to discard... I'm going to do normal upgrade, because I'm only with 1 card, and I'm going to upgrade move. As a consequence of doing that, I have now maximally upgraded an action that scores as an intention, so we get 1
intention.
point. I'm going to move 2 spaces, which only costs me 1 willpower because it's maximally upgraded. And I'm going to snuggle up to my bestest best friend. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Pal.
Walker,
Friend
you're
down.
being snuggled.
Ooh.
How's it going?
Going great.
Just want to get in there. I just want to.
Thanks.
Are you feeling the harmony yet? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to absorb. Now I get 4, 2 base, 1 for each of the adjacent. That also scores an intention.
So we have 2 this time.
Yes,
Which
2 more
also
points,
gains you an essence.
which gains me an essence, and it also triggers a revel. Oh, sorry. Before I do that,
You also gain an essence for absorbing from humility.
sorry. Let's back up a second.
Versus.
Sorry.
These are speeding along faster than.
No, I told you the game was going to be quick. Didn't I tell you? I
Oh
warned
yeah.
you.
No, I know.
Sorry. My second action in point of fact, before I absorb, is I'm going to take a fortify action. And before I... Yes. I will fortify the Cradle of Senses where I'm standing. That costs me 3 willpower.
Now we have control of the Cradle of Senses.
Now we have control of the Cradle of
I had to
Senses.
oh, you moved after you put that there?
Yeah.
So you moved there.
Yes. So that I have access to like this space.
Gotcha. Whereas I now don't have access to that space.
I don't think that's going to matter because they're about to trigger a revelation,
Gotcha.
Now I absorb.
Wait.
Sorry, I got the order wrong.
which we will fail.
So I absorb 4. That gives us 2 and gives me an additional essence.
In addition to the one you get from humility.
In addition to the one I get from humility. Thank you very much. So we have the greatest intensity from fortresses, so we score that. Our common one is have more adjacent emotions.
Frank, your cheering has startled me.
Frank, you're terrifying.
Which I think we're tied at because we have 2 adjacent emotions and you guys
Yes,
have
it's
2
a tie.
adjacent
So
emotions.
that's why I said it was going to be pretty good, but not outstanding.
We have the same one.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, yeah.
So we put out a small. Now, had I put out this fortification, anyone put out this fortification on a prior turn, it would then score, but no such diggings, which is a word I just made up. So it rotates, and we put out the 7.
Nice.
Got it with 7, and then for my third action, I don't know, 3 points and that was pretty
You
good.
could rest on your laurels as your third action, I think. Like,
Nah,
it's pretty good.
nah. Let's pump up the jams.
Pump the jams, pump.
Oh, and I actually pocket these 4 willpower.
Yes, that you drained from humility.
This is done.
What do I want to do with my life?
Am I allowed to look at this now?
Oh yeah, in fact we're obliged. So yeah, you guys get to pick from your remaining 3 before we do the. Sure.
Cool.
Oh, you need these
Probably
coming up
the-
again for both of us.
Probably the
Jeez.
top one.
You know, oh, actually, what makes the most sense. Well, I'll wait for them.
And you can only upgrade once, right?
No, I think you can discard as many cards as you like from your hand to put as many matching symbols down.
No, just once. You can upgrade once when you're about to do an action.
I apologize.
That's why my special power is special. I can upgrade twice.
Yeah,
before.
probably.
Oh, but I could do the action twice, though.
Yeah. You could take the action and upgrade it. Then take
Yeah,
the
that's right.
action
Yeah,
again and upgrade
yeah,
it.
you can do that.
You guys good?
Yep, I think
Okay.
so.
For my third action, I'm going to
Which one did you do?
Quell. I'm going to upgrade the Quell action with this card, meaning that I do not have to have a matching card in order to Quell. And I'm going to Quell that adjacent emotion. It costs me a total of 3 willpower and 1 ambition. And so this gets junked, so it goes to the bottom of your deck. And Quell is another intention, so we get 2 more points.
You get to draw a card, I think.
I do. And then at the end of the turn, I really need cards as a rule, so
Yeah,
if
no,
you don't
go-
mind, I'm
yeah,
going
go nuts.
to take 2 more cards. And that is my turn. Walker.
Can move.
Where would you like to go?
We'll go 1. Oh. Well, I can only move 1 space because I only have 1 willpower. That's no good.
That's not, you could spend a willpower to get 4 willpower.
Yeah, that could be your first action.
Yeah, I think that's what will happen.
One of the things I actually.
When do you get the absorb back? Every turn?
Yep, every turn.
Every turn you get to absorb, yes.
So you could also, before you move, you could absorb from creativity if you so.
If you're
desired.
inclined. But
I think this is a good
We
thing
give
to
you a card.
I think this is a good thing to do.
to absorb?
To absorb.
Okay.
So 2 from creativity,
And a card.
and you get to draw a card. And then.
Yep. Thank you.
And then I'll spend 2 to move 2. 1, 2. That is my second action, yes.
Yes.
My third action will be to play a card.
And then the person whose mind read habits growing up so fast.
Playing a card
I know.
is invoke.
I think they're entering their happy childhood years.
I think so.
Let's carry this on straight through to retirement.
I will
The
play.
hatred isn't flowing through them enough.
I will play a card.
They may have just come out of childishness because that we just
Let me
lost
just-
selfishness.
Let me just quickly
There's
look at this
pessimism,
card
so that
that
they're
I
starting to,
just got.
Become less.
Yeah, I hear you. They're still innocent, though.
Here we
They
go.
are still innocent and kind. And so bright.
And full of intentions. Okay, the theme doesn't work all the way.
Meh. All right, so I'll play this blue card. Where does it go? Just to the bottom of my deck?
What are you doing with
You're
your
upgrading?
Upgrade.
Yes.
Oh yeah, bottom of your deck. Oh,
And you
I
take
get a
match.
blue,
A
please.
blue one.
And it will go here, and I'm definitely not using the upgraded power because I don't want to use our ambition.
okay.
Instead, I will spend 2 willpower to put pessimism
So you are invoking more pessimism.
here.
Oh, it's what the pessimism.
You don't have to upgrade in that order, do you? Whoops.
No.
So if you wanted a
If you wanted a different upgrade, you could
Yeah.
take the
Well, I
discount.
could go right to there.
Anywhere.
Yep.
Anywhere.
Or you
Or
can take the one
take
that,
a discount?
Yeah, the one that makes you pay one less
Oh,
willpower.
I'll go right from there. That way the essence comes from the supply.
If
For
you
2
pay
more
for
willpower.
2 more willpower.
Oh, on top of this.
Yes. All those costs are additional.
Yeah, and some of the combo costs are pretty prohibitive.
Helps
So you-
with that one then.
Okay.
And get a willpower back.
I hear you.
And put this one out here.
And so how
And then once again, we have less.
is it after or before you add the 1?
Pessimism. Is,
Do you remember, Keegan? You would've just played it.
sorry. You add the 1, then you evaluate.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you get a +1
Intensity.
intensity to that pessimism,
Which means
which means you control here.
And you also control here.
Spicy.
here.
No, because it's blocked by
is
the brightness.
The middle card can influence both, but is blocked by the cards on either side.
So if this were empty or a card of your color, this would contribute. But as it
Gotcha.
is,
They're becoming very pessimistic. I don't think we can allow this.
That was
That's
my
such a
third
good
action.
age.
At the end of my turn, I think I better.
see, they're still innocent, but they're pessimistic. I think
Do you have
that's a
plans
bad
up?
combination.
You have plans up
So,
here,
yeah.
Keegan?
No, I have no specific need for that.
So I'll draw 2 cards instead. Go ahead, Jimbo.
Any possibility of?
Yes.
Okay,
That's kind of what I was thinking, actually.
it's a good. I think it's a good plan.
I am going to. What do you do?
What the
Cool. So I am going to empower. My empower is not unlocked, so the first thing I have to do is discard a card
Yeah,
to unlock
quote
it
unquote upgrade it. Yeah.
as the upgrade. So I will discard affection to upgrade. Sorry, to empower. No, to upgrade empower. Then,
Oh,
so
no,
before I do that,
yeah.
I am going to absorb. I'm going to absorb from creativity, so I get 2 from creativity,
Yep.
plus 1 from here,
Yes.
plus 1 from kindness.
Okay.
So I absorb 4, which in turn gives us an intention.
Does that?
I don't know.
Is it from? So okay. So kindness.
So kindness says, when you use your absorb ability, check kindness's triad. If your spirit is adjacent to any slot in that triad, your absorb ability gives you 1 additional willpower
From the supply.
general supply.
Yeah.
Oh, from the general
Yeah.
supply.
Yeah. So
So
there's
I will
no.
put
there-
1 back to here.
so it will not.
And 1 from here. And it does not give us an intention.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have been surprised. I think the only way to get the intention is to control both frontiers and absorb from the middle.
All right. Then I do the upgrade thing. I'm going to empower kindness. So that costs me 3 willpower. And I have to discard a card of the same.
Nope.
Oh, I just do it. Okay.
No, it just happens.
I will empower kindness.
Kindness becomes benevolence.
Benevolence. Benevolent but pessimistic.
Yeah. I could see how that would happen.
So now we are fully tied for the network of thought, so nobody has it.
Correct.
And-
How is benevolence better than kindness? Asks
Maybe
the moral philosopher.
Maybe the action is better.
One from the sphere and 1 from the supply. Okay, so with benevolence, you could pull that.
If I
trick.
had the willpower to do
Yep.
it first,
Yeah,
I would have
yeah,
got.
interesting.
Okay.
Benevolence is boss.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Then you have a third action.
So that was my first action.
That.
My second action. I know what I need, but I don't know how to get it.
Jimbo, you
Yep.
got what I need.
Thanks, man.
Benevolence is kindness on steroids.
No, kindness is well, okay. not in the context of this universe. Kindness is a sentiment. Benevolence is an idea, right? That's probably how I would parse it in traditional content analysis, right? If you're kind, you might be motivated by some idea of empathy, but if you're benevolent, that's a principle.
Frank says, I have to wonder though, if you take away the awesome theme and evocations of excellent Pixar film Inside Out, is this game actually fun?
I have never seen Inside Out, and I'm indifferent to the theme, and I love it. It's a really cool, dynamic area majority game with lots of special powers.
When you quell, does the essence come from your board or the supply?
When you quell, the essence is coming off a card.
Oh, right, because we're not replacing it with a
Right.
card.
The way to put more essence onto a given card is usually through the Land of Desires,
Right.
and and then the essence is coming from your own personal board.
Right.
Sometimes you can get free essence from Invoke or Empower if they've been upgraded enough. You might be able to get additional supply or initial supply from the from
Yes,
off board.
there is a lot of take that. That is for sure.
Oh, 100%.
That's
But that's the nature.
it's not take that.
It's the nature of
it's
area
thwarting.
control, right?
Thwarting, yes.
Yeah,
Thwarting.
yeah. No, take that would be like I play this card, you lose control of that area. This is more like I move over there, I increase my influence in the area. Now my influence exceeds yours.
Things that you could predict.
Yeah,
That player doing.
different, fundamentally different dynamic.
Sorry, would you remind me what my power is, please?
People cannot quell cards that you're sitting next to.
Right. Sorry, I've just kind of got myself into a bit of a jam, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Man, if bitterness were an animal, I would adopt it. It looks cute.
Is it strawberry jam?
No, it's the raspberry.
Same with embarrassment. That would be great.
Well, if
It's a grubby little cactus cat.
Hostility, not so much. That would be bad.
you could pay an essence to draw a card,
Although
you could move
loneliness,
over to where I am
so
and protect
cute.
these slots and put yourself in a
Embarrassment?
position to be able to absorb better next time.
Just like a little sad elephant.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I said first. Yeah.
Ah.
Alright, so my action 2 is going to be to move
Upgraded.
to... here. And then action 3 will be to use the Cradle of Senses
Cool.
to draw a card. Then at the end of my turn, I will activate an ambition,
Great.
and I am done.
Alright. Absorb. Bloop bloop. And additional bloop bloop, but from the supply.
At
Act
your
diligence.
hatred?
Oh yeah, +1 then.
No, you get +2 and an intention because you control both of the adjacent frontiers.
Oh.
So you get 4 from there and 2 more from the supply.
That worked
No,
out
they
much
missed.
better than I was planning.
Intention, yeah. So you get a point.
So you get one of these. Boop.
Sweet.
Well done.
Okay. Now, my plan was to move, but I think double move. Walker, did you shake your head as in I should not move?
No, I thought you moved there in the first place. That's all.
I did, but then I wanted to play a card there, but that is currently our objective.
Yes.
I could fortify. Does this guy work?
Don't let me tell you what to do on your turn.
But no, it's a cooperative.
But,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a team
but-
based.
but here's an objective that's
Yeah.
going to score.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we threw that away.
Yeah.
I would like to fortify for
Sure.
3, because I'm rich.
That does not change control of anything.
Then I will invoke bitterness for 2.
Ooh,
I have a
this is sort of
discount.
adorable.
Oh, it could come from the supply. Yeah, I'll check embarrassment to have put a
Upgraded.
Upgraded, yeah.
Yeah, and what's the additional cost?
An additional 2. And it'll come from the supply, and I need a blue token. Oh yeah, this comes in the bottom of my deck.
And you put bitterness into play in a realm slot. If there's a fortress in the realm belonging to either team, give bitterness a +1
And
intensity.
can I get a
check.
blue upgrade?
Certainly.
Don't give up the fight.
Man,
Wow.
they have a bit of a death grip over the Willow of Values.
One action left. I've done that. Walker, is there anywhere you would like me to not
This
be?
child's awfully
No.
bitter and pessimistic for one so young.
Their values are real bad, and their motives are suspect too. I'm concerned.
I could empower. No, I can't empower. I could invoke again and drop more things on it so it's ready to be empowered. Sure. I will. I also should have drawn a card for that. Yep, I'll invoke again, and I'll chuck a card. It'll be yellow. For a yellow token. Fully upgraded my invoke.
Frank says,
So-
okay, just bought Board Game Blitz's last copy.
One, two.
Hashtag Sweatmoose cardboard.
Right after Frank was like,
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yeah,
like
this
this
game
game at
looks
all.
terrible. I don't know
Yeah,
why
it's so
anyone would play it. Yeah.
Stupid. I'd hate
Two
this
of
game.
Because
those.
we already got one.
Three.
Perfect. Okay. And discount of 1, but I couldn't have afforded any of the other stuff in the first place. So we're good.
Well, when Board Game Bliss delivers
And
it to
remember
you,
you-
tell them to
when
drop
you
my
use that
copy of
upgrade,
Brazil off
actually
on the
Yeah,
way.
I took that.
On the way
Took
by.
that into account. And then I'll draw 2 cards at the end of my turn.
Oh, you selfish bastard!
What? I got us 3 things on this turn.
Okay.
3
Okay.
points.
Oh yeah. Hashtag impulse control issues.
Hashtag relatable.
All right. Here's the first thing I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to absorb from knowledge. That gets me 4, a 5th from benevolence, and 1 more from the supply from benevolence.
Yay,
Yay,
benevolence.
benevolence. That is an intention, which gives us an ambition. We should probably start spending these.
It's intention because.
Because
I
we had
absorbed 4.
Oh, I see. From the.
4 directly from the.
And then this resolves. That is not an action, that is just my absorb. For my first action, I am going to put out sociability. Oh, I got a free upgrade from knowledge. I will get.
And I didn't actually put the thing on when I upgraded.
You should do that.
I will get a discount associated with
Which action does that?
Invoke.
invoke.
Invoke lets you throw more on them.
If it's upgraded, which his is.
So I spend 1 to invoke sociability. Sociability says if it's in the same neighborhood as a fellow bliss emotion, it gets happier.
Because it's social.
For my second action, I am going to put out kindness, just so we can completely drown in these things. That cost me 1 mana, and I put out a thing. For my third action, I'm going to invoke the Land of Desires. Cost me 1 to put out 1 for sociability, and then it costs me 1 more to put out another on sociability. Sociability is now maximally upgraded, which is an intention, so 2 more points. Then at the end of my turn, I will draw 2 cards and call it a day, because we're full of ambition. Walker, you're up. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Do you approve, Dad?
One action to
You
move.
killed it. I'm super proud of you.
A second action to spend 2 of these to get another one of these.
As part of the same action, you can spend 1 more to get 1 more, just as a note. Because you're activating the Will of Values, right?
Yes.
So you spend 1, and you can convert any number.
Oh. Wow.
It's pretty good.
So if you want to absorb first, or if you want to do other things.
Absorbing first might be good. Well, depending.
No. I got a plan. All right,
Yeah, okay.
so
He's got a plan.
do I have enough dough? I'm going to. No, absorb's free. So I'm going to.
Remember, if you absorb from here, it is going to trigger
Yes.
scoring.
So
And I
just
don't-
before I do that, I'm going to do another action to
Okay.
spend 1 to get 4.
Ah, yes, I forgot about that.
And now I have 1 action left
And absorb.
and an absorb.
Invoke.
I am going to invoke, which lets me put out a card. Oh, they definitely have more, so it's going to be pessimism again.
If it goes there, it blocks theirs,
What?
right?
Yeah. If you put it here, it stops
Benevolence from yeah.
influencing the network of thought.
Sure, let's put it there then. And well, of course I was going to do the thing where I would. How many should I get? Another 1, 2 more. There, that should leave me for a while. 1 goes there.
That's an action, eh? To do.
Yeah.
Yes, I did already.
Okay.
I had done it already.
He got it. He got willpower.
Plus
He
1.
traded willpower for essence. He put that out.
Gotcha.
That was my 3rd action to put that out. My last is to take that last 2.
Okay. So here you go. You pocket these. You also get an upgrade of your choice.
An upgrade of my choice.
Any color on any action.
I will take a blue one. And I'll put it on move. Just cause? Question mark? I don't know. I'll put it on.
It's revelation time.
Well,
Jimbo and I score unity because we have 5 to your 4. And we also have the most intense emotion at 3.
We don't have that. I thought we had that, Keegan.
So we score a fat one.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, we do have one.
Yeah, you do have more of those, so you score a skinny.
I thought we had this, Keegan. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, because
They get.
Yeah,
5.
I didn't. Ooh.
because we scored a fatty, you guys must burn one of these.
What are we least likely to accomplish?
Different vibes on emotions.
That's these, right?
Suits, just different
Oh, on
suits
the-
of cards.
We currently have all yellow. Every single one is yellow.
Holy crap!
Done.
All right.
Burned.
So most intense emotion is next up. Neither of us get to choose. It's just the next random one.
Most intense would be like said one.
Highest value. So again, 3 is currently winning it.
Gotcha.
Actually, 3 is tied. Bitterness also has 3 over
My
here.
sincerest apologies. We don't get a fat. We get a skinny.
Which means we flip the other one back over.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, I totally missed it as
Nope,
well.
yeah, I
but
didn't
then
get
I
that.
just realized that bitterness also was at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so this, what's the next one? Oh, intensity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's our next one. Sweet.
So it can't be just so long as it's not
Yeah.
intensity. All right, and
That's fine.
I finished
We'll
up
make it
that.
work.
So and that was 3 actions and absorb.
Yes.
You get an ambition or 2 cards.
Done.
Jimbo,
What is the one for this round, Walker?
in most intense
Most
emotion.
intense. And we're tied at 3 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Putting 1 more on this one would put this to a 4, which would be hard to beat at this moment.
Well, I think its power stays at 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's still 3.
Oh, is it still 3?
Yeah, because it's
because
the number under. It's not cumulative.
It's
This
not
guy
good.
goes
No,
1,
no, I
2,
thought it was like.
if it were cumulative, holy shit.
No, I thought it was the actual tokens. I wasn't adding
No,
the.
no. It's the number.
But if I upgrade him, bitterness becomes
I see that was 3. It has a +1 there. Gotcha.
lethargy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark. I'm just doing a. Yeah, for sure. I just have to. I have to do something first.
I hear you. No,
I've done a really bad job. I apologize.
I don't think so.
So I will pay a willpower to move to here. I'm going to absorb. So I get 1, 2, 3 from
Mhm.
here, and then an additional 1 from the supply, thanks to kindness.
Mm-hmm. And an essence.
And an essence.
There you go.
That was my absorb. Then I'm going to move back to. I'm going to move back to here,
Okay.
to the Cradle of Senses. And then action 3. First, I'm going to upgrade action 3 by discarding a green. Green.
Super green.
Or a green super green. As I am going to empower, for 2 willpower, I'm going to empower sociability into intimacy. When you put intimacy into play, which I just did, if there's another bliss emotion in the same triad, it gets a +2 intensity token.
So we're at 5 now.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's intense.
Intimacy is indeed very,
Very
intense.
And then I'm going to draw 2 cards because we have all the.
We should start using some of this ambition, I think.
We really should start
Yeah.
using some of that ambition.
Well, keep in mind. Oh, actually, it's a little too late now. You could have rotated the
How do you
wheel
want
for an
the-
ambition, and that might have
I'll
helped.
say
you.
on the side.
Yep. Oh well.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll try to keep that in mind.
it's my fault too. I completely forgot about it.
So is that it, Jimbo?
Yes, that is
Oh.
it. We're done. Sorry.
I'm gonna pitch a dislike for a green upgrade token.
You pitched that dislike.
Whoops. To gain access to empower. And I will empower my bitterness into a lethargy.
Bitterness goes to lethargy. Interesting.
Actually, first I need to absorb to have the resources for that. So that's 5 from here. 1, 2, 3.
No,
and
just the ones with the bonus.
okay. So
Region control doesn't influence it, so you get 4 and an intention, which lets you draw a card.
Boop.
And then you can spend 1 for an ambition if you want.
I can spend 1 for an ambition.
1 willpower for an ambition.
What's giving me that?
The fact that you absorb from commitment.
Okay. I feel like we aren't using those.
No one is.
Yeah.
It's an oversight.
Remember, you can use ambition actions, as Mark just pointed out to me.
Yeah,
So
we-
you can spend an ambition for a free upgrade. Once
Don't
you-
emphasize.
What
Ixnay
we can
on the
also do
LP.
is spend 2 and you can take another complete turn.
Action.
Just an action.
Just an action. Not,
Not,
whoa,
not,
whoa.
not 3 actions.
I know, well, I was just thought for a second.
That would be spicy.
I agree.
So
Thought it was a little bit
finding
much.
our lethargy.
I cannot find. Is it are the upgrade cards not in this book?
Yeah, they are. So the way it's organized is on one page will be the basic versions of.
Oh, then on the right will be the upgraded version.
Yeah, generally.
Okay.
Well, they're organized by suit.
Oh, found it now. All right.
So that was,
I was just a
that
color
was
that.
one
I
action.
thought it was blue.
So what does lethargy do?
Lethargy.
Yeah, lethargy's a whole lot less adorable.
When you put lethargy into play in a realm slot, if there is a fortress with bliss intensity in that realm, which there's not,
Which there isn't.
yeah,
Oh, it goes away?
remove it if
Yeah, sure.
or downgrade it.
What is a bliss essence counter? These?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I will invoke.
We're bliss.
Discount.
These are essences.
So that is maxed out. We'll get 2 of these. It
Yep.
was on the intensity one. So boop.
So he's only at a 4 though, right?
He is at 4.
Your stupid thing is at a 5.
Yeah.
So do you?
Wait, weren't you at 4? Didn't you have 4 points before?
Oh, possibly. I thought I must have been at the flip intensity one, or that was from this.
Yeah, that was from that.
Sorry,
You were at
so
4.
I'm at the flip intensity one,
Okay.
which we don't have.
Ambition, not
And-
intensity.
yeah.
Yeah, you only get 2 points for that, not however many you gauge yourself.
Can you?
What else can I do?
Do you need a because they don't have colors? Can you quell brightness or?
Yes, you need
bleakness?
any card in
Just
hand
any
will do
card
it.
in
Yes.
hand. Okay.
What are we going for here?
Here.
Right.
It's
Right.
already locked. They can't stop us from that one.
Anything in particular I can do to set you up, Walker? That you can think of?
No.
Well, because there's the other one over there. I don't know if that's. I don't know what the public objective is that we're scoring, but that's another one to consider.
I'll just do a move and upgrade my move while I'm here. I'll take another green upgrade, please. Oh, that's discounted. Badoop. Is this in your White Walker?
Nope.
He can go the same space you are with no problems anyway.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't even a problem.
I can. Oh, we can just do that.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's opposing pieces. You can't occupy the same space as.
Ah,
All done.
of course.
So your most intense emotion is a 4, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
What can become more intense? Not much.
Well, that stinks. I don't exalt.
Ah, yes.
But I don't think we're gonna get a chance.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Mark's gonna score it now.
Why would you think I would do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, wow, the only place where I can do it is over there.
Mhm.
Wild.
I know, right? I was
Wild.
having the same thought.
I spend 1. Yes, I spend 1 willpower to move over here. That's 1 action. For a second action, I am going to fortify. In the process of fortifying, I'm going to give it a blue upgrade.
Blue.
Making it cheaper, because otherwise I would be too po. And I'm going to fortify. Thank you. Then what I'm going to do, is this going to be super embarrassing? Do I have to do it in a super embarrassing way? I think I might. I'll save the action. I'll spend an ambition, because we've just been talking about how we haven't been spending enough of that, to rotate the wheel 1 space. I'll then absorb from... No, it makes more sense the other way. Never mind. I will spend my 3rd action to... I can move 1 space for free. Yeah, that works. I move 1 space for free for my 3rd action. I then absorb from creativity. I get 1 extra from the bank on account of benevolence. I would get more from the sphere, but it's not there, so it doesn't apply. I also get to draw a card. Then we trigger a revelation. This does score, because it was emptied and I didn't put it out there. Oh, sorry, it scores later. Never mind.
I was going to say, wait a second.
Yeah, wait a second. Okay, so sensibility. We have the most intense emotion, and we've got more fortification points. So that gives us a big one.
Chunkers.
As well as this. What did you guys have?
Nothing.
Okay.
And you guys get to burn, or are obligated to burn, a second objective card.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get to pick from your next 3. So just as a heads up, again under the notion of under the notion of the game will end faster than you think. If we have to score a small one, the game ends.
Ends immediately?
Yes. Unless you sack that first, and then we have to
send
score a
it back
small
to
one.
her, yeah.
Yeah.
But that also means we can't fortify small, correct?
That is correct. Unless we exalt that first. But I can't exalt. Exalting is this one.
It's that thing right there.
Oh, and then at the end of my turn, I will draw a couple cards.
Have emotions and more triads.
Triad, 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 triad.
So we are 1, 2, 3, 4 to 3.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Currently, you are winning that one.
Easily remedied, though.
Well, not if you score it right now. Then we can't remedy it at all.
It's true.
True.
Which one do you think on top, Walker?
So
Like,
the
the
one,
one that
I
you
had
had
on,
on
the,
top.
on the back, yeah. Let me see again.
I don't think...
I don't think any of them really, though, right? That is what I had.
but I don't think we can beat them. Oh, you have the schemey one.
Yeah,
Right.
the one I was thinking of.
I forgot
Plan,
about
a
your
scheme,
Yep.
a stratagem.
I can't do any of the
Yeah.
others really. Oh, we could, right? We already have one out, right?
Man, so much better.
So
Or
we'd only need one other out.
Or the pairs.
Honestly, it leaves me a bit down at the dumps.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because I didn't realize we had one out still. We could do that
We
one
did
as
start
well.
quelling stuff,
sneakily-
like just
We
quelling
really
all
did.
over, like just
That's the-
all over the place.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
All right, Walker. Yours up.
All right. That gets us some options then.
Some options.
And we have all of this stuff.
Yes. So we want to build a fortress. So you
Do
say
you though?
you want to build a fortress. Do you want to build a fortress? I'll spend 1 for 4. That's action 1.
We keeps it current here.
I don't know what that. I mean,
That's
all along
action
the
1.
watchtower. That I get. That's current, right? That's what the.
Actually,
that's
yeah.
bitchin'. That's cutting edge. That's,
Yeah.
Didn't
Is-
Billie Eilish
It was
sing
in
that?
Watchmen, which
We
just came
could
out like a
potentially,
year ago.
even this
Like,
turn, spin the wheel and then have you trigger that with absorb.
I don't need to spin it because I get to absorb from
Oh.
adjacent. So I don't even need to move.
Gasp.
wild.
gasp thrice.
Although how many? I'm only going to get 2 though, right? Because
You're standing here. You get 3. You'd be
Oh.
entitled to 3. How many there actually are?
It'll drain it.
Interesting. All right. So spend 3, and we put out a fortress
Second action.
here as action number 2.
Ba-bam.
Action 3.
What was your first action?
To get willpower from.
Will.
Ah,
Motives.
right. Yes, the Valley of Motives. I'm envious of your Valley of
Shall I
Motives.
put out another card? Because
Well,
Because.
we've got that. What's our objective this round?
More triads.
We've,
You're currently
which
one
we've
triad.
already had that
Okay,
too, right?
yeah.
So this is just a
We-
bonus action
yeah.
right now. So I might as well put another card.
Well, what's coming up next?
True. Good call.
More frontiers.
More frontiers.
It is currently 2 to 3 in your favor.
And this is getting more powerful, so putting another one here would shore this up.
Yeah.
So I want...
Sure.
It would make him more sure, which is like shoring it up.
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment.
Put out
Cute.
embarrassment, which is a invoke action,
Yes.
which will cost me 2 of those
So,
and 1 of these.
and what's the special power?
If you take out any other person but him,
You're making it up, aren't you?
no,
Whenever any emotion leaves play,
Oh, okay.
choose a gloom spirit. That spirit gains 1.
Interesting.
yeah,
Any other, like anywhere.
Well, when a card gets removed, not when an essence gets removed. But yeah, it's just 1.
Yeah, when it
Oh.
we've only had 1 card disappear, I think. So
Yeah, it's a global power, but it's weak. So.
then I take these 3. Although if they have their card, right, that ends the game. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
That would be correct.
Oh,
there's no way to know.
yeah. Plus they're going to do it on their turn.
They would just do
yeah,
it.
they're going to do it on their turn.
We,
anyway.
we net a bit more, I'm sure, over.
Yes.
Okay, so more triads, you win.
Yep.
Ours is a control regions and
cross.
opposite frontiers, which we don't have.
Which we don't have.
We have more forts, so we get that.
Yep.
That is true.
So you get a fat one.
You get a fat one, which means we're obliged to burn one, and because we didn't score anything, we get to choose from the next 3 that are viable.
Hooray!
Yep, we got a fat one.
Oh, we could put these back in any order. Did we remember the order? Oh, we get to look.
Yeah,
Sorry, we get to
well, I
look.
left the one.
No, it's supposed to be random.
Oh,
When we
okay.
look at the 3, then we're supposed to shuffle the other 2.
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Okay, well we do
Well,
not know that.
shuffle up these 2 then.
It's all good. It's all good.
Let me see exactly how it's phrased.
This is a rule coming out of nowhere. To
well-
as soon as we start getting
calm
some
down.
points.
Calm down.
I lean towards this one. But you should take a look and see what you think.
I don't know, man. Given what we plan on doing, isn't this?
Sure, I'm down with that.
Hold on, let me.
Well, we'll just do it the way they've been doing it. Like if it's been
Yeah, no, I think we want to go with that one, honestly.
okay, if they've been putting them back in order the whole game, let's just do that, and we'll know for future what it's
Okay,
what it's
sure.
actually supposed to be.
Oh, well, you're going next, so you decide.
Wait, why are you changing things now?
Well, because
Putting it
true,
back the way
put it
we
back
had
the way
it.
it was. Is that? Oh no, the way we had it was this way. So just so you know, that's the one that's on top.
Why would I have done that?
Blame the brain damage. It's what I do.
Yeah. Absolutely no brain damage.
Oh, BKB. So it's my turn.
Well, we could go. Where are you? You're there. Ooh, well, you could go with the plan. There's multiples of those out there. And what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's +4.
Isn't it my turn?
Brings it to
No, he just went.
6. It's really far.
Jimbo's
from your
turn.
Oh yeah,
It's
right.
not my
my
turn.
turn.
Unfortunately.
That's not good. Yeah, Jimbo, if you can quell and then
It's kind of what I was
diligence this out,
thinking.
So what's up? For
more frontiers.
more frontiers.
Okay. So I'm going. First action is going to be to move. I'm going
Well, we
to.
have 3 to 2.
I'm going to discard kindness to get a green upgrade to move. And I will spend 2 willpower to move to here.
That's one action.
yeah.
you
I'm
s-
on my second action
What was your first action?
to move. I'm now on my second action. I'm doing my second action.
Sorry.
Then it's not going to work because once again, I have no willpower.
I see.
I apologize. That's just a constant. It just keeps happening.
Well, you can absorb before you move.
But that
That
euchres the
doesn't
whole
get us
thing.
where
You euchres the whole thing to
Okay.
begin
They
with.
want to
Gotcha.
trigger the end of the game.
I'm going to. I mean.
Well, alternatively, you started with 1 willpower,
I did 2 willpower
2 willpower, and 1 essence.
and 1 essence.
Put out 1 more, and we're golden anyway.
Okay.
Right?
So instead of upgrading, so my first action is going to be to put out, to use that thing,
Land of Desires, yeah.
Land of Desires, to pay 1, to put out one of these. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on
Yeah, you have to be next to the.
Oh, I have to be next to it, right? So I'm going to put it next to kindness. And then.
Well, or if you actually wanted to put it next to innocence, if you wanted to move first and then do innocence, and then absorb, that would probably work out better. Because value of motives would be tied up then at the time that we score.
Fair enough.
Right? Because it's
Here.
2 to 3. Yeah, it's time.
And then I will spend
I see what just happened.
I will spend an ambition to rotate this, and then
Jimbo, this turn is so hot. It's
I
bothering
will-
me. It's so hot this turn.
drain from diligence, which gets me 3 because of this, and then 2 more from the pool, and then we stop and do scoring.
Okay. Openness is tied, and we have more essences on the board, which means we're entitled to a little one. Are you entitled to a little one?
No.
Okay, so this caps,
Pointy tower time.
and the game ends. Good job, Jim. That was hot.
That was mostly you.
Sorry if it felt quarterbacky.
No, you didn't feel quarterback. I love this game, but I lack the ability to plan ahead.
So you guys get 8 plus 6, which is 14, and we get 9, and 5 is 14, and 4 is 18, and 3 is 21, and 8 more is 29. Cerebria!
And that is
Cerebria.
Cerebria.
Happy person, happy person.
It is
Still awfully pessimistic.
super
very lethargic.
pessimistic.
Okay, so they're lazy.
Happy.
They're very
but
lazy. They're motivated by laziness, and they're very pessimistic about what they choose to do. But otherwise,
And their thoughts and.
Okay, happy person.
yeah, happy person.
Super green. Everything's super green.
Super green. Yes, this is Cerebria. It is an area control game with a what I think is a just sparkling theme. I love the theme of this game.
I like the art.
I know you. I know you're not as wild about the theme.
No, I mean I don't dislike it. It just doesn't really motivate me much.
That's fair.
Bleakness.
It is not perfect, but I really enjoy it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming.
Paula looks like she's playing. What is that called again? With the Lazy Susan.
Which one? Oh,
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet. All right. Let us.
Walker, which planet are we going to?
It's forbidden.
Oh, we probably shouldn't go there.
Is it a silly place?
Let's not go to Camelot. It's a silly place. There's a great streamer that I watch, and the basic tier of subscriber is Bloody Peasant. So whenever anyone subscribes, he gets to say, so-and-so, thanks for the follow, you bloody peasant.
Sure.
It's great. Those are yours. This is mine.
Are we not on the list? Why can't I see us?
That's deep.
There we are.
Can't see his podcast for the list. There's something to that.
There is something to that.
All right, the raid is set up. We are so very wrong about games. We are here every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We were playing Cerebria from Mind Clash Games. I was here with my good friends Keegan, Jimbo, and Mark. We are known for our podcast. Check the links. There is merch and other stuff there. See you next week. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye.